Dave Fontaine over at the at Utica College. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Hey, who's that? You talking about John Wayne walking with his arms out and all
Yeah,
that stuff?
yeah.
I enjoyed that. That's pretty good.
And it is. What is it? It's our version of the peacock, right? And
I have no idea.
it's just not good looking. I mean, it should be the first lesson we learn in kindergarten. Kids, boys, you're gonna feel like you're gonna need to cock your arms out when you walk. Don't do it. Women think it's stupid.
I'm a big dork anyway, so that just would add more attention to my dorkiness. So I don't do that stuff. So.
All right. Well, listen, Dave Fontaine, Utica College. Man, what a shocker with that with the dome coming down. And we're just talking about how huge this is for recruiting, how huge it is for sports like baseball and football and even track, where in wintertime you guys were reduced to a gymnasium. And so shocking, this thing came down.
Yeah, it's tough to see that happen, especially, I feel bad for our student athletes. The upside, though, in all seriousness, is nobody was injured.
Yeah,
this conversation would be so much different if somebody got hurt in that accident. So, our student athletes were on spring break, and there was nobody in the dome at the time. So, really, you don't want to ever see something like that happen. But, the flip side is nobody was injured. So, we'll let the experts handle all the evaluation and all the rationale as to why it failed, and we'll kind of move on from there. And hopefully,
I do have to ask: was there a point where I never really thought about this, that you reflected and thought, I got to tell you, if students were there, we probably would have been in there practicing.
Yeah, sure. You think about that all the time. But. I watched some video. There was a dome collapse in Alaska about 8 weeks ago. Same manufacturer, Yaden. And I watched that video, and it just doesn't come down all at once.
Okay.
It sags. And I watched that video from their dome in Alaska where they actually evacuated people. But, certainly we would have evaluated the situation.
Yeah,
we would have shut it down at the same time we did this time and made sure that we erred on the side of safety for sure.
There's metal brackets that hold that up, or is that all air inflated?
It's all air supported structure with metal cables, big steel cables that are coated on the outside.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just one. I don't know if you guys have been in there, but it's a huge open space. Really impressive. It definitely has a wow factor when you walk in.
Yeah.
135,000 square feet was huge.
So what are we, I hate to say it, and we keep hearing, well, this is a once-in-a-lifetime storm. Probably not. I mean, this has happened before. I understand, Utica might have, this is the most we've recorded or whatever. The fact is we get a lot of snow here, and this structure has to be able to sustain a lot of snow. So what are we hearing from the manufacturer at this point?
We haven't heard a lot yet. They're coming, and they're going to evaluate and take their time and make sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's, and they'll give a true evaluation of why the dome collapsed.
Yeah.
So we can do a lot of speculation, which I won't do, but we'll wait for all the experts to say what they have to say and take their direction and move forward. Like you had mentioned, we're in a part of the country where weather can wreak havoc on things, and it's the same in other parts of the country where there's different, weather situations, whether it be hurricanes or whatever. So, again, don't know exactly all the causes, so, I don't want to do too much speculation, but these structures are definitely built for some rigor when it comes to weather. So
the plan, I know we're talking about speculation, and it's not exactly clear what the next step is, but the thought is you would put up another dome, or you would build a building to have them play in.
So forward. I think that's something that we'll talk about for sure. I don't know. I won't make that decision.
Sure.
It'll be a group of people, and with much more authority here on campus than me. I'm sure it'll be a group type of decision, but my guess is that we'll look to put up another air-supported structure if we can, and hopefully have it up for the fall. But we'll talk about, I'm sure, all of our options and what we want to do moving forward.
I do know that do you know if the one that you guys have is the same brand as the one that the Turning Stone has?
A different manufacturer. That's a Saudi at the Turning Stone.
Okay.
This is Yaden here in Utica.
And that had damage to it, but it did not come down.
It did have some damage. I don't know. Did the Golf Dome come down?
At Turning Stone, yes.
It damaged. It was damaged, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so a different manufacturer, and
okay.
I don't think theirs is insulated either. I mean, it's different. It's smaller. Ours is huge. Ours is the second largest in North America.
Wow.
So,
really?
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
second largest behind the dome in Alaska, which was 160,000 square feet. So,
and listen, you got to be thinking if it can go in Alaska, it should be able to handle the weather in upstate New York.
Yeah,
That had to be the
so
thing.
that's why they're going to, they'll do a full investigation as to exactly all of the, all of the reasons why.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, listen, again, an awesome asset, especially living in this area.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So we're hopeful that they get things together and get that thing back up.
Yeah, we're hoping so as well, and we'll work hard to make sure that happens.
All right, Dave. Thanks. One last question.
Just one last thing. Because this was used, I'm assuming, by baseball along with other sports, does this crimp the schedule for baseball at all? Does it change anything?
Well, just a couple of years ago, we didn't have a dome. So, we had a baseball and softball teams, and we made other accommodations inside, So what we'll do is we'll work with local places. We've got great neighbors in Hamilton College and Mohawk Valley Community College in terms of our track and field, kind of going to those institutions and working out. So we can't thank those neighbors enough for reaching out to us and helping us out.
Yeah, and you do feel you do feel for the seniors, this being their senior year, and if they're playing a spring sport, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, and the seniors know what it was like before we had this beautiful structure on campus.
Yep.
If they were here for 4 years, so we want to give them the best experience as we can. It's certainly unfortunate, nothing you ever plan for. You don't ever want to see it happen, but like I said, no injuries, so that was great.
That's big. All right, Dave Fontaine, Utica College, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
We'll talk again.
Yep, bye-bye.
We'll break, come back at WIBX.